Hello, welcome to Artsystems Pro Training Video Collection. In this video, we will learn how to enter a new work record into the database, then attach a primary and secondary image. You can pause, stop, replay the video at your leisure. Let's begin. I have Pro open on my screen. The modules are located on the left side of this window. To begin the process, click on the Works module and it will open up to the spreadsheet view. Clicking the New button on the toolbar will open the first window where we enter the name of the artist. In this window, we can select the artist name from the previously entered list or add a new artist. Then select the ownership status of the work we are entering. The ownership choices are purchased, co-owned, consigned, and non-inventory. For this tutorial, we will be adding a new artist and enter a consigned work. So I'll select the consigned option, and to add a new artist, click the plus button located to the right of the artist list. The Add New Artist window opens, and here is where you enter the artist name and life dates. The Add Artist to Contact checkbox is selected by default, which enables you to create a contact record for this artist during this process. For this entry, I will deselect that option and begin entering the artist details. Below the date field, we see the prefix and next number notations. Pro has the ability to auto-populate inventory numbers in a protocol that is set up by the database administrator. If this feature is not enabled, you can manually enter the inventory number on the completed work record. Below that is the artist categories, which allows us the opportunity to assign a genre of the work as a category to further enhance the versatility of the database search engine. Just click on the first row and select from the list. You can also type in the field and create a new entry. Clicking Finish brings us back to the Add Work window where the new artist is displayed on the list. Select the artist and click Next to proceed. On this screen, we see the list of contacts that have been previously entered into the database. Here we select the current location of the work and then the source of the work. By clicking on the contact entry in the list and then clicking on the location or the source arrow. The top field is a search field. By typing in the first few letters of the contact name, in this field, the list will resolve to an area of entries, allowing you to choose your contact. As always, if your contact is not in the data file, you could always enter a new contact record by clicking on the plus sign. When you have completed the fields, click Next to proceed. Now we begin entering the work details, the title, the year the work was created, and a brief description. The Media field has a drop-down arrow that allows you to choose from previously entered media options. Click the arrow and select from the list, or type in a new entry and click the Save prompt when it appears. We have a few options for entering the dimensions of the work. We can enter the information in inches or in centimeters, and the program will automatically convert the entry to the remaining option. We also have a Dimension Notes field to enter alternate information such as the size of a sculpture base or the frame dimensions of the work. The three fields are the height, width, and depth, and the easiest way to navigate the fields is by using the Tab key on your keyboard to move within the fields and between the fields. Here you can enter the inventory number. As previously stated in this tutorial, the database administrator can set up the System Assigned Inventory Number feature, which will auto-populate the inventory number according to the set parameters. This feature can be set up in the Data File Preferences located in the Artsystems Pro menu under Preferences. Assigning a type and an alternative type to the work is the next thing we need to do. Assigning a type to a work optimizes the organization of your inventory. It places the work into general groups that can later be refined by assigning multiple categories. The list of types are created and entered by the user and are available to all who are working with the data file. Click on the drop-down arrow and select a type from the list, or enter a new type in the field and save your entry when the prompt appears. On this screen, we see the date received has been auto-populated by the program to the date you are entering the work record. If this is not correct, you can edit the field and enter the date you received the work. Entering the return date of the work will allow you to search for all works that need to be returned on a specific date, so it's advisable to fill in that field. If you do not know the return date, you can always enter it at a later time. The retail price can be entered on this screen or at another time on the completed work record in the Value tab. Leaving the net is a % checkbox unchecked will give us the option to enter the payment to the consignor as a value and not as a percentage. In the original net drop-down field, you can select a currency other than your home country currency if that in fact is the preferred currency for payment, and enter a value. Right-clicking in the conversion rate field will connect to the web and adjust the conversion rate of the currency selected to the real-time value of the moment. The net field will auto-populate with the converted value. Now, checking the net is a % checkbox will change the available fields to a percentage-based payment option. The fields we see here are the net % field, which is the % value your institution will pay the source of the work once it has been sold. This is calculated on the retail price of the work. The net cap, which will contain the consignor payment to the value entered in this field. The % above cap is an additional percentage paid to the consignor, calculated on the difference between the retail price of the work and the net cap value. This is an optional field addressed in the consignor's agreement with the gallery or institution. Checking the base net on sales price checkbox will calculate the payment to the consignor on the discounted sales price reflected on the invoice transaction. On the bottom portion of the screen, we see the summary of information that we entered so far. If all checks out correctly, click Finish. If you need to edit the information, click the previous button to go back and make your changes. The new work is now highlighted and listed in the spreadsheet view. Double-clicking on that row or opening the View menu and selecting the Details option will open the record in the Form view. Examining the work record, we see that the inventory number field is green, which indicates that it is available for sale. And across the center of the form there is a dark blue line which indicates the ownership status. These are the color references and can be viewed by a right mouse click on the marking button located on the toolbar and selecting reference colors. On the color reference chart, the top 5 colors indicate the availability status of the work. As we can see, the available green is displayed on the new work record we just created. The lower 4 colors on the chart indicate the ownership status. This color chart can stay on your desktop as needed when you are using the program. The next thing we need to do is attach the images to the work record. I have a couple of images located on my desktop for this demonstration. However, your image folder location will be designated by the administrator of the database. You will need to know how to navigate your computer to locate that folder. Attaching an image is a simple process. Click on the image and drag it on top of the image field of the work record, and then release your mouse. In Pro, you can attach any type of image file of any size. Pro converts the image to a JPEG file and resizes it automatically. To attach multiple images, open the image drawer by clicking the indicator arrow located at the right of the image field. Grab your second image and drag it onto the drawer and release your mouse. The slider on the right side allows you to view the images larger or smaller as you slide the control up and down. Let's continue filling out the record, adding a location detail. The drop-down arrow will display a list of secondary locations that the user has entered. You can also just type in a new location in that field and click Yes to the prompt to save the entry to the list. This list is accessible to all users of the database. Continue down the form, entering signature location and details. After that, we'll enter the categories of the work. On the center of the work form is the category drop-down list. You can choose and add multiple attributes and components of subgroups from the list to further associate the artwork with identifying inventory groups in the database. Click in the row on the drop-down arrow and choose the category. You can also add a new category by typing in the field and then click out of the field. You will be prompted to add that entry to the existing list of categories. Note that the work category list is viewed by all users of the data file. If you did not have a chance to add an alternate type to the work, you could enter it on the completed work record, as well as assigning a period or time frame, a style, and country of origin. The entries on all these drop-down lists are created by the users of the data file by typing in the field and then saving your work when prompted. Once you save your record, you can continue exploring the tabs on the form, adding values and expenses, references, and condition notes. We will review the Work tabs in another Artsystems tutorial. Clicking Yes to the Save prompt will bring us back to the spreadsheet view. Congratulations, you have just completed entering a new work record into the Pro database. I hope you found this tutorial helpful as well as informative. We have many more training tutorials on our website, www.artsystems.com. This is Michelle, signing off for now.